Yo, what's up guys? It's Lionel the Builder back again with another video, and this is going to be the full 2024 recap that I promised, where I'll get into every single thing that happened to me in this crazy year. My first and a half, second-ish year of tech. Want to let you guys know what the market is looking like, what you can expect, the craziness, especially when you're working for a startup. I went through some scandals. I was laid off. I was hired. I threw a bunch of different events, did a bunch of networking, did a bunch of learning, growing, meeting new people, building software, mess around with Firebase, Superbase, modern tech stacks where you're building an MVP, tried to get invested in our MVP, had a team, learned how to be a CTO, pitched our thing to investors, had a whole company prepared to pay for our pilot, and now I'm moving on to another position. So, to go ahead and recap real quick, I'm a self-taught full stack dev. I went through 100 devs, free code camp, team treehouse, and then from there I was offered, after I built a WordPress website for a lady who runs an accelerator. She recommended me as a software developer to a ship repair project management app that had just came out of Techstars. So they had money prepared to hire somebody to build their prototype into a working MVP. So I was one of the developers that was hired for that. It was like a Firebase React front end, Firebase back end. And that lasted for about 6 or 7 months before I was laid off from that. Our startup was, as startups do, we're starting to run out of money. And when they went to test the market, there was so many different hurdles that they decided to go into a different direction, and I was laid off. And so what did I do when I was laid off? I went back to my digital builders thing, freelancing. I'd make websites for small businesses. So I would hit up different restaurants and stuff and tell them that I could get them off of WordPress or off of Wix and Squarespace and get them their own custom solution where you own the code. Y'all know how it goes. And basically I was doing that plus throwing events. So I was planning a hackathon called the Blackathon, where a guy showed up to that who I had met before. He was inside same company when I had my startup, blockchain games. We had a crypto thing for a little bit there, and I went through 757 Startup Studios. He was the CEO of his thing while I was doing that, so he knew me from there, and he came to my event and offered me the position to CTO, because his company just got accepted through Techstars. Now I'm going to slow down here and try and give more information because I kind of breezed over some very important things here. So just to kind of like recap a bit and to give more detail of how that went, right? So of course it was my first time being a CTO. I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea what to do, but of course, you're already gonna be imposter syndrome anyway, right? But I did the best that I could. So I basically stopped shooting videos. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna make no CTO videos. Like, I have to actually be one, right? So I found out everything I had to do. I built the whole tech stack. We hired our team. We all moved down to Birmingham to go through Techstars, which I found out now in retrospect, slowing down, that was actually a big mistake. Like, I didn't ask my CEO, which is something that you should do if you're a startup. Ask, what is your burn rate? Ask, how much money do you have? And how long is our company going to be able to last if we don't get any more investments? Stuff like that are the huge questions that you need to ask, right? We were just, of course, trying our hardest to build this thing as fast as we could. Shout out to the whole team: Tabo, Carlos, Sparsh, Heba, Brandon. We actually did it, right? We had a Next.js front end, Vercel hosting, Superbase back end. It was a commercial real estate app. You guys can click some of my previous videos and you'll see that it was fire, man. What we have, of course, we still had a long way to go. We were only just starting, but we were drawing interest from Alabama Power and from this building called Innovation Depot that is in Alabama. They were going to be the first ones to use the app. And Rev Birmingham, another nonprofit organization with 10 buildings, signed up to be our second customer as well. So that's where I say, hey, I really was a CTO, bro, because we built the thing and people were interested in it. All right. And so, what else did I learn about being a CTO? Not only how to just build the tech stack, but shout out to Brandon came aboard, who taught us the whole like Kanban board ticketing thing, right? There's so many different times where me and the CEO would be arguing over like if we could implement a feature that he was either selling to people in our meetings. For example, like I thought of this one time where we were in a meeting and the lady said real smooth, like, well, what if, because people want to clean our building, right? When people give us quotes to do certain work within our building, like say somebody wants to clean the building, could your app actually like hold the 3 quotes, and then could AI look at these 3 different quotes and maybe search the web and see their Yelp reviews and plus the price and what they do, and then tell us which one we should choose? And he was like, yep, we can do that. And I'm sitting there like calculating the man hours and the code in my mind. And I'm like, dude, chill out, right? Because we were already busting our YouTube. I can't cuss because this is YouTube, but we were going crazy hackathon style for like 2 months already straight, working on weekends. People in Techstars were asking us like, yo, why are they working on weekends? I didn't know that we were literally running out of money. Our CEO did a great job of hiding that fact from us, right? So, but we were working crazy because, we wanted to succeed. We're a startup. We saw that we were getting success, so that was firing us up even more. We had great morale in the team. We had a great structure of, we used Notion just to brain dump. Whenever anyone came with any idea that we should add to our app, it went there first. And then, only then, we would then reorganize. Like we did 3 meetings a week, which is probably crazy as well, right? Not the whole team, but me and the CEO would have a meeting on Sunday where we went over the brain dump document, and then we chose within the brain dump document what would make it over to the Kanban board. And then the developers came and picked something from the Kanban board that was selected for development. We had like a backlog selected for development, in progress, testing, and then ready for review or something like that, right? And so, yeah, whatever great idea, sure, let's put it up here. And then every Sunday we would say, all right, what are we ready to add to the next sprint? We worked in like 2-week sprints, but it really ended up being 1 week because he was always trying to get us to, hustle it up, right? Because obviously our burn rate was crazy. And and that's why I'm here to give information to let you guys know what to watch out for. Ask. It's a very important thing that you want to ask. If we don't get no investment today, when is our company going to be over? Because there came a time where all of a sudden our checks stopped coming. And now we were told that we were switching banks, right? Augusto stopped working, so we're switching banks. And everyone was like, okay, that's unfortunate, but all right. And then, it was a month and a half. So at that point, it's like, well, what are we doing? But the whole time, and so what in retrospect, what I think was happening, this is not a actual fact, but this is just my philosophy of what happened, and was like, all right, the CEO is probably thinking, my company's running out of money. Do I pay these guys the last bit of money that we have in the bank and then let them go and call it quits? That's probably like a scary thing to do, because then it's like, well, damn, now I'm back off to where I started. Seems like instead he chose to lead us on and to kind of like tell us a story that we're switching banks, when in reality we weren't. And then the story was, it was given to an investment banker who then screwed him over or whatever. I really don't know that's that part. We still never got an answer to that to this day. You know what I mean? But the whole time we kept working, like not even normal hours either, working like our lives depended on it, like trying to get, because we had the pilot that was right there. And Alabama Power told us that if all goes well and this building that's using our app here goes well, then they wanted to use it for all of their other buildings. So we're like, man, this is really some generational wealth thing that we're doing. And there were amazing companies within our cohort. I mean, come on, it's Techstars, right? There's amazing companies in our cohort. Everybody wanted to have the Alabama Power partnership, and we were the only ones that were on the verge of it. So that in itself was so motivating to the whole team that we were still going crazy even when the checks stopped coming. And now, of course, y'all know how I am in the videos. I always say network. That is really my secret sauce and reason why I'm an event planner, because not only is that my skill set that I brought to the table even from before I was in tech. I had a venue in LA for a little bit, and I come from the artistic world. I started off like I freelanced my way from photos, Canva logos, wedding Instagram model, photography, all the way up to, I got so used to using YouTube tutorials to learn Photoshop and to learn Final Cut to make videos and all of that stuff. So then I applied that same skill of just watching tutorials to start building websites on WordPress and Squarespace. And then I started learning how to code. And so I, and with event planning, I basically like do that because it's a great way to network. It's a great way to bring people together, to shake their hand and to tell them that you're a web developer. I know that this is not something that everybody does, but if you have it in you, bro, I'm telling you, this is the perfect way for you to get opportunities. In this crazy market where stuff is going crazy, and I know that I'm still always being unemployed again. So it's not like it's the end all be all solution. It's not like it's ever gotten me into Apple or Google or something that works out for the long run. But still, in the world of where you just need a chance, you just need someone to give you a chance. Startups are good for that, at least, right? Experience, resume, and to get the ball rolling for yourself. Outside of freelancing, the thing about freelancing is once you finish that website for that restaurant, maybe you can get the residual, right? Some people are good at negotiating that. And, like what we're coming up on a prospect right now that is going to be paying a pretty good amount for, if we get the everything signed off for the residual. So that's a great idea if you can. But you always want to be hired for a company where you don't have to worry about it anymore, that you still also enjoy the day-to-day, right? But I love startups though, still, even though, hey, the stories are crazy. But anyway, long story short, right? I'm getting a little rambly here. But we did this thing called Next Up. The idea was, it started with an idea of small business, like Q&A, to get our investors in one room and to get all of the people who were in Techstars, because we had guys building an airplane, we had a solar power company, we had this dude is building something to help charge the Tesla cars, right? Like better than the chargers that are already out there. Plug Zen, look them up. Shout out to Q, he's awesome. And so I built, imagine. Basically what I did was, what the digital builders do is we bring the artistic culture of fun, music, nightclub atmosphere to the tech world. Because usually I realize that there's a pocket here. The events are so dry, so wine and cheese and suit and boring, if you will, that I take like what I used to do with the artistic world and throw it on top of these tech things. Because at the end of the day, you put any of these suit wearing investor type people or business type CEO, CMO, CTO type people, you put them in a wedding reception, they're gonna be dancing, right? So I would add, like, I was DJing at Next Up. We had like the nightclub lights, we had projections on the wall, we had like all of the things you would not expect to be there. And then you also had the startups showing off their demos, different tables that you could go to. We had Mario Kart on the screen, right? and it was such a vibe, man. It was so awesome. And we did such a good job. We had like, I think of 60 to 100 people in there. I know that's a big number, but I mean, in and out and stuff. And I made such a good impression that they came up to me, Alabama Power, said, we have an event here next month that we want you to help us with. And our budget was like $4,200. They told me I could split it up however I want. So we got another DJ in this building that had never had a DJ in it for some reason. All of the investors were there. All of the different startups was there. Techstars people was there. It was awesome. And again, that's me making a name for myself. And because of that work, the guy who hired me at the startup that I'm moving to Alabama to work for told me that it was because of the name that I made for myself while I was there. Not only was it the event throwing, but it was also the fact that we had a pilot and a partnership pending with Alabama Power. And so in the midst of us not being paid, we did all that. And another reason that the event was helpful, because it was when I finally got the courage to approach my CEO asking for proof of the bank switch and everything that he was saying. And that's when he took off, went missing for a while, came back and finally told us the truth. Or, another story that, okay, sorry guys, here's what happened, and it was that he gave the money to an investment banker who still hasn't given it back. Who knows how what's up with that really. But so everyone got a settlement agreement and like a severance letter, so we all got laid off basically eventually. And then I still finished up my time in Birmingham and was applying for other jobs, and that's how I found out about the company that's hiring me. Now I'm really waiting until I move down there to really give you guys more information on that. I want to change my LinkedIn to the new title, making the fancy LinkedIn post with the picture and the building and all of that, and thanking everybody. But I'm excited about my position because the title is Product Growth Officer. This company has about 200 clients, and it's gonna be my job to take it from 200 to whatever I can. So it's kind of a marketing role. And I'm able to be a event planner still. They saw my skills with that, and they're that's a great way for them to spread their software. I'm also going to be in charge of growing their YouTube channel, so that's part of the reason why I'm blowing off the dust off my YouTube stuff and trying to get back out here and get back used to shooting YouTube videos again. But yeah, that's basically, dang, yeah, that's a quick little, got here pretty quick to the end. I'm trying to think, I know that there was more stuff that I wanted to dive deep into, but definitely wanted to say, make sure that when you're get hired for a startup, for one, you already know it's risky, right? Most startups fail. And apparently the whole payment thing happens way more than I thought. I went and I met with a lady who runs an accelerator here, the original one who I made the WordPress for. She's my mentor. It's my dog, man. I really love her. Eileen Brewer is an amazing individual. Shout out if for some reason you come across this video. Helps me out all the time. She just reviewed my co-founder agreement for a startup that we're working on that's in stealth mode. Well, I'll let you guys know more about that. So yeah, I have a lot of stuff that's cooking up for the digital builders. We've got a food truck app that is pending. These are all, nothing is signed officially, but I've got about 3 huge clients that I'm working on closing. So I'm still going to be the leader of the digital builders on the software side. So I will be reaching into the Discord, and we already have our team. Pretty much I inherited, much of our team from what we were building down there with the Techstars thing. And yeah, I could talk a bit more about Techstars. It was cool. When Techstars invites you, your company automatically gets $120K just for the chance of them buying equity. So make sure that but that's nothing, right? When you really think about it. Y'all heard how many people I shouted out. Our team was crazy big. We were the biggest team there. And not only that, he moved us there and paid for our rent. We found out our rent alone for our team was $10,000 for 3 months because of the amount of people in the house that we were living in. Which we had a blast. Rented a car, a crazy car, and I at the time I was thinking man, this is what success feels like, right? But then in hindsight, everybody was probably looking at us look at these amateurs, they don't get it. Everyone else was penny pitching, and then in the end, everybody's company is still going to this day, and ours isn't, because we went too crazy on the spending. too much on the flights. We flew our team down there. He told me we're flying everyone here for a sprint, and I'm like, that don't even sound right. Like, well, first of all, what do you know about a sprint? Like, why are you planning a sprint without me, without talking to me, your CTO? And then second of all, we don't need to do that in person, right? And it was during this thing called Mentor Madness. So the team came, and then we didn't even really have enough time to hang out with the team because he was constantly in meetings. It was the most busiest 2 weeks that it could have possibly be scheduled on. And our team was just like, not even around each other, right? So it was really just a huge waste of our funds. And if we did get invested, which we did have a lot of potential investors, I'm not sure if it would have just been a matter of time probably before we made some sort of like rookie mistake like that. So basically it's just like you have to be so careful with the funding because your burn rate is going to kill you, right? Especially if, and that's the whole hustle of probably why most startups run out of money is, you're trying to gain traction. A lot of times you're reaching for investors with a pitch deck and maybe a landing page, or you're trying to get enough money to hire some developers to build a prototype. That's why anybody watching this video could probably be a technical founder and actually just build the thing yourself in your free time aside from your 9 to 5. But a lot of times your CEO has no idea how to code, doesn't know about tech. So they have to get an investor to then go find a CTO and the rest of the team. But man, and like I still enjoyed the process, dude. Don't get it twisted. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad. I still shout out to the dude, helped me change my life, made me a CTO. I learned so much through that, as y'all know, through the meetings and actually how to like meet deadlines, how to manage the expectations and how to hold back the extra features and the extra ideas. I led all the meetings. We did code reviews, right? So I had to learn rapidly all of that, and the team executed, the vision to the point where we had so much progress that it's very much a shame that it was all wasted off of like a rookie mistake of not, like, if I could go back and hop into the body of the CEO, right? As soon as I noticed our burn was too crazy, I would have let everybody go, literally, even myself if need be, but preferably keep the CTO, maybe even lower the salary and just keep it real and like, yo, we're literally gonna die if we don't plug up the holes in the ship. Let everybody know you will come back, and then let's go ahead and finish the damn pilot and take care of these 2 customers that we have if we can. Because if that would have went well, we would have gotten further investment. We would have had customers. We would have had everything to keep everything alive and keep everything rolling, right? So I would have, if I could go back, I would definitely have been not so ignorant to the business side and only focusing on the tech and just trusting the higher up that to handle everything else. But these things are too important to not use everyone's brain power that is there, right? So of course, in there, I know that there's thousands of startups, like maybe somebody here, especially us new guys with not a lot of, because startups are usually looking for, it's the balance of the giving someone a chance so that you're getting a cheaper developer, someone who at least knows how to code. You're gonna like view some stuff that they have built before and talk to them in some interview, but it's usually not going to be a technical interview because it's not FANG. So it's a perfect angle for you to get a chance. If you need something on your resume, you need experience. So that's one thing that I'm grateful for. My resume is crazy, although if you look at the dates, it's like, dang, nothing here is really like a whole year long, but at least the experience is there, and still the role that I got hired for now is not coding, which honestly, I don't care. I just want to work in tech. I can code on my free time. I can build whatever I want on my free time. And with the digital builders, like, I'll always be looking for clients and brushing up on my skills with coding. And I don't have to work for, Google or a $1 billion company coding, right? Because at that point, Like, I don't know. I really don't. I'm not gonna lie. I don't enjoy coding that much. Like the aspect of it. I love the end result. I love seeing things work when it works. I love the magic of that. But as far as the process, there's a lot of things that I'd rather be spending my time doing a lot of things. And plus, another thing that I noticed is that it's not necessarily your ability to code that really can help you build the amazing thing. No matter what, you're going to need to lead a team. So really, you just need to be the guy to hold the meeting. You really just need to be the guy to get your developers to buy into your vision, and then the leader to corral these different talented people who actually love to code. And then that now makes you the most productive developer that you can be. If your goal is to be a developer that builds something great, right? And you're not working for a company, you're not hired. If you can somehow build a community or a team of some sort, corral everyone together and say, you are front end, you are back end, you are full stack, you are code review, you are tester, and we're doing stand-ups every Monday, right? Then now you guys can build anything that you can imagine, right? Anything that you can, and then build a prototype, pitch deck. Maybe you get accepted into an accelerator that gives you 100,000, 20,000, 10,000, right? This is stuff that happens all the time, right? It's a whole world that I have been exposed to that I didn't really know until I threw myself into the fire and I walked through those doors, right? Had no idea what I was doing. You could go back. I've been honest the whole way, and I'm probably being more honest than ever now. That I'm on like the tail end, got more experience than ever now, and I'm really sitting here and I'm thinking. And one thing about me that I will be even more honest with y'all, I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I have no problem changing my mind. I feel like I'm a human, you know what I mean? Just like anyone else. So I could tell you today, yo, JavaScript is the best thing in the world. That's all you need to learn. You can work on the front end, you could work on the back end, you could build anything. And then I might come across some information in a month and be like, Python's the best thing because this and this and that. You know what I mean? And I don't like, I won't feel any ounce of giving a dang because that's just how life works, right? So that's where I'm at right now. And hey, who knows? Maybe in the future I will transform back to the I just want to be a developer. Like maybe I'll transform back to that. I'm a living organism that is growing every day and changing every day, just like everyone else. So a lot is going to change with this channel now that I don't really necessarily have to code all the time. We may still do code and chill. We may still do certain tutorials on certain things, you know, possibly. But I would much rather just be candid, share my experiences, you know, because there's people that I know that can gain help from the things that I have to share, the experiences that I have to share. I'm also a knowledge seeker, so I'm always looking for help and tips from other people on YouTube as well, you know. And this is basically just like my year in review in tech. And then maybe when the climate changes, y'all can always count on me to keep it real from my perspective of what I have going on. So if you're here for that and you made it this far, y'all know the drill. Like, share, subscribe. Please, it helps the channel. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. YouTube, right? But it's true. It's what it is. And I'm Lionel the Builder, man. Holla at me on Discord and everything like that, where you can reach me. Add me on LinkedIn. Follow me on Instagram. The links are in the description. I really F with y'all heavy, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.